There were numerous people telling me that I had to watch this movie called Bone Tomahawk. I kept avoiding it because I'm not really a big fan of Westerns. I knew I was going to watch it eventually, it just came too highly recommended. I just wasn't in any particular hurry. I finally did watch it, and I am incredibly annoyed at myself for waiting so long. This movie is excellent. Even though it takes place in the Wild West, it's more of an adventure with some horror movie elements in it, which of course appealed to me greatly. Without going too much into detail, the movie's about a small frontier town where some of the people in town are kidnapped by this rogue group of Indians. There's actually an Indian in town who makes it abundantly clear that this isn't a cowboys and Indians kind of thing, that this is a group of Indians that are very much their own thing. Kurt Russell, who plays the sheriff, gathers up a group of people to go out and rescue the folks that were kidnapped. And I'm not going to say any more than that, because this is a movie where you will definitely appreciate it more the less you know about it. Had I had watched the trailer, I still would have enjoyed the movie, but as usual, it spills a little too much of what happens later in the film and gives away some surprises. One of the things that initially drew me in right away was the script. It was very witty. There was a lot of dialogue and talking amongst the characters, and that really helped to breathe life into this, so that when bad things started happening, you did care about the people, and you kind of felt like you were brought into a part of their lives. I guess you could say it kind of felt a little Quentin Tarantino-ish, maybe not quite as snarky, but it did have sort of a Tarantino vibe. And I'm not bad-mouthing Tarantino at all. I love Tarantino. But his stuff has a certain flavor to it, I guess you could say. If I found out that maybe he offered a few lines of dialogue that got into the movie, I wouldn't be surprised. Kurt Russell absolutely stole the show. I thought he was excellent here. Patrick Wilson from the Insidious movies and other stuff, he was great. I liked his character a whole lot and was impressed. I loved the angle that they went with him. And Matthew Fox was in the movie. I didn't realize it at first. I'm watching it and I kept thinking, I recognize this guy, but I don't know who it is. He was a highfalutin gentleman. He brought a certain amount of smug to the movie, but it was very much needed for his character. Then you had Richard Jenkins, who played one of the deputies, and he did a great job of playing somebody who had a ton of heart, but just was not the most intelligent person. And you really felt for his character. He was doing everything in his power that he thought was right. As the title might suggest, a movie called Bone Tomahawk, you're thinking that it's going to be fairly vicious. And it was. They did not skimp on the red stuff. When things went bad, it got bloody. Even though it was about a 2-hour and 15-minute movie, it never dragged. The dialogue was great. The acting was great. The effects were great. The whole thing felt just very fresh and unique. It really did a good job of pulling you into this world and not knowing where things were going to go. Bone Tomahawk is an excellent movie, and I highly recommend you check it out.